What do you think right now, today, end of 2024, going into 2025, is the best way for any account in any niche to grow?
So I always say I live by this, and I think this has been a massive thing to look at on any post you do if you want to grow. I think it's shareable content, posts that get shares. If you produce content on the daily that is pumping out thousands of shares, like what that does to the Instagram algorithm is just absolutely it turns it into a snowball effect, especially if their story reshares too, because then you
Totally.
get put out to all of those guys' audiences, and then it just doubles down. Let's say like at minimum, like 2 to 3 reshare. Then it just keeps going. Like from that reshare, people just. So that is why I focus on all of my posts being as shareable as possible, and that's what creates the most followers because it's literally reaching out to non-followers.
Yeah. I mean,
You know
a thousand reshares, each getting 1,000 views, is another million views for you.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then especially if you factor in all of those shares that are going to your story too, the biggest trends that I grew like tens of thousands. I'm not exaggerating. Tens of thousands from a single post are the ones that were trends of people posting those kind of carousels on their story. So I don't know if you remember that Mr. Men trend or that Little Miss trend, whatever it
Sure. Yep,
was.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I took advantage of that, man. I did like 5 or 6 carousels of that, and I was literally seeing like tens of thousands of follows on every single one
That's amazing.
because that trend literally got people to post on their story, and then it's just absolutely exponential from there.
Yeah, it's so funny. We acquired I don't know if I've told this story, but we acquired a Michael Jackson fan page about, I want to say, a year ago. Had like
Mhm.
150,000 followers. And our job was now to take this Michael Jackson fan page, which had insane engagement on any Michael Jackson content and terrible engagement on anything else. How do we convert that into something that's all music? So the first thing we did was we started posting Michael and other artists together. And then
Yeah.
eventually we just started posting just the other artists. And then we had one video, I think it was Bruno Mars, who was doing a Michael Jackson impersonation, brought in 200,000 followers, one video. It got like, I don't know, 120 million views, something like that. And then it brought in a couple 100,000 followers. And then the next one did the same thing. And the next one did the same thing. And it went from 150K to a million
Mhm.
in 2 months. And now content that isn't Michael Jackson performs well. Um, it's all you really need is like a couple to do really well, and it can totally like change the paradigm of an
That's why that
account or of a
first like
page.
10,000 followers, any of the guys that I mentor when I'm helping them build theme pages for monetization or whatever they're trying to do, I focus and I tell them how important it is. It's going to be a grind, but how important that first 10,000 followers is. Because that's the foundation that when you start producing and you keep continuing that insanely good content, that's going to be where all those guys will see it on a consistent basis and they will share it to those friends, and that's when it snowballs.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
can't really have that growth on a consistent basis if you have less than that and there's not enough guys to even tell the Instagram algorithm that this is a very good post to keep pushing out because they don't see the shares out the gate.
totally.
So that foundation's very key.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to go from 0 to 10,000 than 10,000 to 100,000.
I agree. I tell all my guys that that's 100% the truth. I
Yeah.
feel like that's the same with money too. just everything.
Well, anything that compounds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's compound interest, man.
starting that curve is, always going to be difficult. But like, I think I want to keep sort of double clicking on this point of you have to pick something that you're going to be passionate about because the curve is so long at the beginning.
Mhm.
Um, Otherwise, there's just
There's no
I
way.
mean, you've
Yeah,
seen so many, like, over the last 10 years, how many people have you seen come and go
yeah,
on
they,
on
they
like
go they go
accounts?
for like 30 days, they go for a couple months, they kill it or whatever. They hit this little Instagram drought and then boom, they're done, never to be seen again. Then they start another account. They want to do the same thing, then boom, done. You have to literally just commit and you got to go all in on it, man. And you have to love it, or else there's no way you're going to be able to survive the droughts and survive the
Yeah, and ideally you would do it just for passion if you were never planning on making any money from
exact.
it. Because
That's how I started. It was
same,
literally just for passion.
100%.
But no shot I would have been able to continue to do it if my sole goal was money. You know what I mean? Like, it
Totally.
would have been hard. Now, looking back at it from now, I would have definitely still continued that route because it's obviously gave me the opportunity to make passive income and go do all the things that I want to do. But looking back at it, like if that was my first goal, I would have quit immediately, because I wasn't looking like so long term.
Do you really think it's passive income?
So I guess passive income, when I say that, I mean, it's more for like the fact that I don't have to do work I don't like, I guess, because I don't see
Okay.
it as work. Now,
I
I do,
passionate income, not passive.
I guess, yeah, I guess you could say that because I do have a very good ROI on my time now that
Of
I've built up
course.
this, where
Yeah.
I've built systems and everything where I can produce viral content within like a couple minutes max. You know what I mean?
Totally, but I don't want to mislead anybody. Like
No, that's true.
you are
Yeah.
great at what you do. You do it every day. It is
It's
hard.
because, yeah, when I
Yeah,
say passive, it's because I've built all of these systems in place to make it pretty like 99% passive for me because of all of the
well, yeah, you,
found
you built it up to this point. It's one
exactly because
click. It's one click now.
you can't get this to where I'm at unless you've gone through all the trial and error and the knowledge that I have. So yeah,
Totally.
it's definitely not passive out the gate. I mean, it is, you have to build up to that point to where you are, it's still really not passive if you want to continue to grow. But like if I basically like wanted to tap out, like I can still make a continuous income.
Totally. Totally.